Hey there guys, CrossFlux here, and welcome back to more Let's Play Teslagrad. In the last episode, we made our way all the way up to the very top of the Tesla Tower, where we overlooked the King's Castle and obtained the fourth and final power-up of the whole game, the Tesla Staff. This item is really awesome. It's basically an improvement on the magnet glove because it has the same functionality, except it allows you to magnetize things at a distance. And once I make it to the top of the tower, I'll have a nice close-up look at it for you. There we go. Do both positive and negative, just as you'd expect. Now, we have our final goal in mind. We know the history of our people, at least to an extent. We don't quite have all the scrolls yet, but we'll remedy that by the end of the episode. And one final little painting here. It seems the Teslamancers at some point traveled to another kingdom where they came across kind of a giant eye at the top of a pyramid. Sure would be weird if we were to run into something like that, wouldn't it? I had to open my big mouth. Alright, here is the Gyrix Orb. Its only method of attack is by shooting a beam of concentrated heat or light energy at you, which has a slight delay on it, so you have a second or two to react before you need to blink away from it. So, first stage is basically heating up these metal platings around the outside of it with your Tesla Staff. Just make sure you be patient and not greedy. You'll have plenty of opportunities to weaken that thing. Now, as soon as all four metal grates come off of this thing, it'll shoot a giant beam in a full 360 revolution. It might be a little more than 360 degrees. I haven't quite paid attention too much. But after that, all of its metal grating will fall off, and he'll be able to kill you in one shot, no matter what. It's completely unavoidable. So it's not like I made a mistake there or anything. That it's supposed to happen that way. Alright, adjust. Anyways, basically, once you get to stage 2, the pattern changes just slightly. Instead of shooting metal gratings off of it, you're going to actually be damaging the core itself. So just keep wailing on it with your beam until it overheats. And then it won't do a revolution beam on the second stage. I'll show you here in just a second once I get back up to that point. Alright, shouldn't take too long. Sorry I died there, by the way. This guy gave me a little trouble in my first playthrough, but he's probably one of my favorite bosses just from the noises that he makes. Alright, there we go. You can tell how hot he's getting based on the whites of his eye. Alright, and as soon as he gets done heated up, you're going to have to magnetize yourself onto those platforms that he conveniently enough throws down there for you so that you can avoid the electric gates. And third stage is pretty much the same thing, you just got to be a little bit quicker. Oh no, I was so close. Alright guys, cutting back in here at the very end of the third stage. Let's see if I can successfully overheat this guy one more time. Can I? Play it safe. And alright, Gyrix Orb is down. Oh, that wasn't good. Never mind. Looks like I spoke too soon again. Quite a twist surprise there. If you notice to the background, you can actually tell that we're literally falling through that giant vertical shaft of the Tesla Tower. So that was a pretty neat touch. I like that. So just make sure you keep blinking its beam, and ouch, I wonder how we're going to survive that. Oleg, what's he doing here? Why is he saving us? Well, it seems as if he has truly turned over a new leaf. Even if the player character, the little kid there, doesn't know who saved him, we know. And that's what matters. Now, we're conveniently enough back at the very start of the game, and there's one new area that opens up since the Gyrix Orb crashed into the statue, opening up a path just to the left here. So here's where some people call them scrolls and batteries, and why that's the case. I'm going to do a little bit of backtracking, and I'll show you every last scroll. You only need 15 to complete the game here, which we have more than enough now, but to get the true ending you need all 36. So I'm going to go back to the very start of the game and do a little montage of getting all the rest of them now that we have every power up in the game. So without further ado, I'll go ahead and head back to the very start. But I don't think I'll cut, since it's not a very long travel at all, especially now that we have the Tesla staff and the polarity cape at our disposal. Alright. If you guys were wondering why I didn't have 15 scrolls, it's because my recording screwed up and I had to do a new file. So I'm going to be showing every scroll and I'll show you what it all looks like completed. But for now, let's focus on the task at hand. Back in this room of the game, near the very start, we can use our polarity cape to access a secret alcove here. What's pretty cool about this scroll is you can actually collect it on your very first time through this stage. All you got to do is touch that orb walker and jump over the electric gate to hit that beam before time runs out. So not too bad. I skipped it at the start of the Let's Play because I was focused on just getting the mechanics down and kind of showing you guys the game. I didn't really want to stop. I felt like it would mess with the flow of the episode if I just stopped for a secret there at the very start of the game. Alright, now with those two back-to-back scrolls out the way, I'm going to cut ahead to where the next location is. Alright guys, here we go. I'll show you where we are on the map. Once again, it's a pretty linear sort of pathway, so it's not really that hard to get lost. I just felt like showing the map just in case you guys forgot where it was. Now with the blink boots at our disposal, we can get through this electric gate and access a secret room. This room always gives me trouble. I usually die at least once going through on it. And that's because you gotta be patient. As long as you're clinging to the sides of the walls here, those stone blocks will be able to pass by you without hitting you, even though it totally looks like they should be. Once you reach the top, just blink over to the side and kill yourself. That's the most important step of getting this secret. You have to kill yourself at least once, otherwise the scroll won't pop up. I'm just kidding, of course. Anyways, if I don't get it on the second try, I'll just cut to a successful attempt. I pretty much made it to the top already, so I showed you how to do it. It's just a matter of me actually being able to do it. Alright, cool. There we go. And also, another neat feature of the Tesla staff is you can destroy orb walkers with it. So that can make your life a bit easier. Alright, once again, I'm going to cut ahead to where the next location is. Alright guys, just a few rooms ahead from where we last were. We're going to spring this trap just like we did last time. The difference is that I'm going to activate the wrong polarity. The difference is we're going to do a similar tactic to what we did for the last secret, and that's to blink through an electric gate. But that one's a little bit trickier because you're going to have to do it twice in succession so that you don't hit an electric gate that's waiting for you at the very bottom of the screen. Alright. Shouldn't take me too long as I don't rush it like I've been doing. Alright, there we go. Ride the polarity beams up and claim a prize. Now the next secret is in the very next room, so I'm not going to bother skipping ahead or anything. It's going to take me about 2 seconds to get there. Alright, now this is the room leading to the furnace boss. So all you do is hop in this hole here. Now that we have the blink boots, we can cross that gap no problem. Once again, ride a polarity beam. Hit the switch so that you don't get shocked on your way out. And then, it's as simple as that. Now the next secrets are pretty far ahead, so once again, I'm going to skip to me getting to the room where we need to be. Alright guys, I'm back. I'll show you the map location. We're in the room just past the dark room that you had to use the fireflies in order to see, in order to progress. This is the room that I was talking about where there would be a scroll that would taunt us for quite a while. We'll let it mock us no longer. All we need is a negative polarity and we can reach it without any problems. Alright, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, I probably am, but if I'm not mistaken, then there's only one more secret left to get. And I'll show you guys where that one is. Alright guys, I'm back. We're in the ventilation shaft room, the one that connects to the Guardian Faradeus' room. Now we're going to head up this shaft here. And I didn't mention this scroll here last time because there's nothing we can do about it. But with the Tesla staff, we can break through that metal grate. And that should be every secret, but there's still 2 more things that I want to show you before we take on the final boss. So, cutting to them right now. Alright guys, I'm here in the vertical shaft right before you get that really difficult scroll. In order to make things easier, the developers put in a shortcut here that you can access once you have the Tesla staff. It makes getting back down to the bottom of that challenge a little bit quicker, since if you make it to the very top and you miss the scroll, even though you beat it at the race and you just missed it because you didn't jump in time or whatever reason, it's almost impossible to get back down to the bottom of that tower and try that puzzle again without going all the way around. So once you have the Tesla staff, you're able to access this secret tunnel, which makes it a little bit quicker. There we go. Alright guys, I'm back. Now let's take a look at these scrolls. I'll zoom in and kind of take a look at each one and give my thoughts on each one just to kind of get a little discussion. So it seems it starts out with that barbarian invasion upon Electropia and the king conquering them. And it seemed like he managed to convert some of them into his own soldiers. So then next we have the Grus in their natural habitat. The Teslamancers tamed them to a degree and also helped to use them in that war. Now it's showing the building of Teslagrad, the capital of Electropia. Now some of the next few scrolls, I'm not entirely sure what they mean, so I'll just give my own personal thoughts on them. Seems like other nations in the world have also been doing their own science and stuff. They're also pretty good at all that stuff. And that comes into play a little bit later. So here we see them building furnace, an iron louse, and power plants. Now it seems like some of those other nations, the one up ahead or before with the blimp, this country here, kind of gave Faradeus to Electropia, perhaps like how France gave the Statue of Liberty to America. And it seemed like they're transporting furnace to the tower. And here's that desert area where the Gyrick's orb was from. Now here we see the alliance between the king and the Teslamancers, and how the Teslamancers gave the king his crown sword, and he was admired. However, as we saw from those scripted cutscenes, things did not stay so great. The king wanted more power, so he led his charge by himself and failed, and that was the turning point. That was when he let darkness consume him. Now he blames the Teslamancers and persecutes them. There's a divide, and he issues out Oleg there to lead the charge to round him up. Now, if you recall at the very start of the game, we should recognize this character. Seems to be the boy's father. He sees what's going down, and he writes all this information down in these scroll battery things, and leaves them in the tower so that one day he could learn the history of the Teslamancers. And he takes him away and hides him in safety. Next, we start to learn the backstory of Oleg, why exactly he did what he did. It seems his parents were killed in that barbarian invasion, and so the king convinced him that the Teslamancers were the ones responsible. As a result, he wanted his revenge. Now, one other interesting thing is it seems that the boy was prophesied to save Electropia from their tyrant king, using some sort of magic. And it's to be implied that perhaps the father is no longer around. We did see him drop off the kid at the very start of the game, and then he kind of hid in safety. Perhaps he was leading Oleg's guards away so that they wouldn't find him here. But that's all the scrolls, and with that, guys, sorry if that was a little boring, but I just kind of want to throw my 2 cents on that. In the next episode, we'll storm the king's castle and put an end to his evil tirade. See you guys then. And remember to have a blessed day.